Hi, hello everyone. My name is Sota Watanabe. I'm founder of Plasm Network and Shiden Network. So today we are going to talk about Shiden Network. And Martin is going to introduce how the Kusama Crowdloan works and how the Kusama Parachain auction works. So regarding the Kusama Parachain lease offering, the PLO consists of Parachain auction and Crowdloan. And the Crowdloan is much more important than the auction for us. So Martin is going to talk about Crowdloan and auction. Martin, let's get started.
Okay, great. Hi everyone, my name is Martin. I'm infrastructure developer for Plasm Network, and I will do an introduction about the Kusama Crowdloan and auction and what differentiates each other from each other. And if you have any questions, feel free to click on the button below, ask a question, and then we can answer those at the end of this session. Let's get started. So this will be talked today. Those numbers will be explained later on this presentation. Just something you know, we will distribute 22% of our tokens during the first Kusama powered Parachain lease offering. We will have a locking period of 11 months, or we will go for a lease slot of 11 months. And then we have in those 11 months, 1 month of lock for the tokens and 10 months of vesting. I will explain you about the Parachain slots. So an estimation of about 100 Parachains will be connected to Kusama. And the type of parachains aren't credited equally, meaning we have common goods parachains and then we have the lease slot. The common good parachains, there will be around 10 or 30, like they said during the Polkadot decoded. And those common goods will be serving as a utility for the entire Polkadot ecosystem. For example, you see there bridges. This is for bridges between Polkadot and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot and so on. You also have utility common goods. Those are, for example, statement. Statement will be used as a multi-asset chain for the entire Polkadot ecosystem. And then you have also common goods for the system. Those are actually for chains that move some logic of the relay chain, but that's actually a completely different topic. We will talk about those lease slots. As you can see in my presentation, Shiden will be connected here as a lease slot, as a parachain. I also included a graphic here for the slots onboarding. Slowly, the network on Kusama will ramp up. So there will be added one at a time, back to back. As long as Kusama will keep running stable, Kusama will keep scaling up new slots. So for us, it's very important to be with one of the first, and we hope to be one of the first because it's very important for the rest of the auctions as well. What else have in this graphic? You see what's the difference between a parachain and a parathread. A parachain is a blockchain connected to the Polkadot network, and it actually rents a dedicated slot to be able to interoperate with other chains. That's very important for us. You also have a parathread that is actually somewhere the same, but it will be used more as pay-as-you-go. So you will not rent the slot, but you will pay the blocks you are using on the relay chain. This is a graphic about the slot duration on Kusama. So for Kusama, the lease period is about 6 weeks. Compared to Polkadot, it's 3 months. So this is because Kusama is actually a canary network, and they want to see the state transitions of parachains happen more quickly. And we at Shiden Network will bid for the maximum and the longest period of 48 weeks. So here is a little graphic about where are we now. As you can see today, we are here at May 24th. As soon as it's announced by Parity and Web3 Foundation, we will start our Crowdloan. During our Crowdloan, the auction will start. And at one point, we will become a parachain. And then the slot duration of 48 weeks begins. Now I will explain a little bit the difference about a Crowdloan and an auction. And first I will be talking about a Crowdloan. What is a Crowdloan? Actually, it's very simple. We want to raise KSM for bidding in the Parachain auctions. That's actually the main goal. We want to raise as much as KSM as possible. Basically, you guys in our community and holders of KSMs will loan us your KSMs, and they will be locked up after winning a slot. Now, Shiden has an incentive program built for contributing to the Crowdloan, and the bonus rate is the highest during this period. I will explain it with an example in the next slide. So all contributions will also be returned to the original owner at the end of the lease slot or the end of the Crowdloan. That's also something different, the end of the Crowdloan and the end of the lease slots, but that will also be covered in the next slides, because a Crowdloan can cover multiple auctions. Now, what are actually the benefits of holding a Crowdloan? Well, actually, we as a team, we need to prove ourselves that the community will invest in us. And I think that we at Plasm ecosystem are one of the most active in developments in the Polkadot ecosystem. So we have a proven record of things we achieved already. Also, a Crowdloan is a double win for the users because you will have the native token, Shiden token, as the end token. And we will also provide security for the KSMs you locked in, because those KSMs will be locked on the relay chain. They will never be owned or touched by us as a team. So it's actually maximum security for your KSM holder if you join our auctions during the Kusama Parachain lease offering. Now, what are auctions? Auctions is actually very simple. You need to have an auction to win and to become a parachain. And this will be used by a candle auction. And this will actually determine who will win the slot for a parachain. How is an auction different than a Crowdloan? By contributing KSMs, those will be returned if the project doesn't win the auction. This will be explained in the next slide, but I explained an example of what can happen if we win the first or the second. And the auction bonus is much lower than joining during the Crowdloan. Now, a candle auction on Kusama. What is a candle auction on Kusama? Is actually a variation of the English auction. English auction is actually an auction that we all know, where we have the highest bidder, and everyone is bidding at the same time, and the highest bidder at the end wins the auction. But a candle auction, the exact auction end time is unknown. So this will encourage healthy price discovery, because each bidder will bid as it was their last bid. As you can see on the slide, we can split the auction in two main parts. We have the start or the opening period, and then we have the second, the ending period. During the opening period, this is actually where we will insert the Crowdloan in the auction. And this is also the period where we can see all the other competitors during the first auction. In the second part is the ending period, and it is the period where the auction can stop at any time and the winners are decided. Now, how will they pick the winners? First, they will go through the whole period first, so people can place their bids and so on and so on. Then we have the end period, and at that time there will be randomly choose a block number, and that block number will contain a snapshot. In that snapshot, there's always will be the list of the highest bidder, all the ranking of the bidders will be in each snapshot. So when you go to a snapshot, like say here, and the first winner is, let's say, Akala will win. When we go to the second here, and we are the first, we will win. So actually, we don't know where we will be in what position, but we will hopefully be in the top of all those blocks. That is what we are hoping. So we will do our best to raise as much as funds as possible here. So we are secured of our place because we don't know when the auction here will stop, because at any time it will stop and then we don't know who will win. So we have to make sure we will have the most funds in place during this period. Now, this is an example of what it could look like. Let's say we will not win the first auction, but we will win the second one. So first we have our Crowdloan. So this will start at a particular date. So this will always be also be the date that people can unbound their KSM tokens. And you can start putting in your KSM during the Crowdloan. Our Crowdloan will cover over 6 weeks. As you can see here, it will be 6 weeks, so you can cover multiple auctions. So if you place your KSMs in a Crowdloan here, you cannot get them, they will be held in during a Crowdloan for 6 weeks. They will be locked in the Crowdloan for 6 weeks. So we can use them for multiple auctions. So if we not win the first, the amount of KSMs during this will also be used for the second auction. That is something different than bidding during an auction. If you put your KSMs in here during the auction and we not win the auction, you will get your KSMs back. This is not the case if you join the Crowdloan. If you join the Crowdloan, you will lock your KSMs during 6 weeks during the Crowdloan. So let's say you lock them in, KSMs will be locked for the entire Crowdloan period of 6 weeks. We start the first auction. We will insert the Crowdloan here in the starting period. And then the auction will go. Then the ending period, a block number will be picked. And we are not the winners. Okay, the Crowdloan will be used in the second auction. Okay, we go into the second auction. You can still place more KSM tokens during this auction period. Then if we win, Shiden will win and become a Parachain. The KSM from the second auction and the KSM from the Crowdloan will be locked in the relay chain and will be locked for the entire lease period of 11 months. So for 48 weeks, your KSM tokens will be locked. And the team will never have control over your KSM tokens. So Crowdloan and auction are two different things. So please make sure to join a Crowdloan because this will give you the highest bonus. And everyone can join the Crowdloan and or auction because there were a lot of questions about people who are not on the wait list that we launched. But that's no problem because everyone can join. That wait list was more for us to gather data to make our strategy. This will be the bonus, and this will be Sota. You can say more about this graphic.
Yeah, so the most important things is the earlier you join the Crowdloan, the more Shiden token you can get. The reason why we made this incentive scheme is that so we would like to focus on Crowdloan so that we can use Crowdloan KSM for the first auction and second auction. And if you join the Crowdloan before the auction day 2, your bonus rate is the highest. And if you join our Crowdloan from auction day 3 to the end of the second Crowdloan, your bonus rate is the second highest. And if you join our Crowdloan after the second after the beginning of the second auction, your bonus rate is the third highest. So basically, we incentivize people to join our Crowdloan as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, that is our intention.
Yes, correct. And that's why we also use a staircase like this because it's not slowly. It's just like you join the Crowdloan, the highest, and then we just divide the bonus rate to go to the second highest bonus rate. Now, what about my SDN tokens? I made an SDN timeline for everyone to understand what will happen with your tokens, with your native tokens. So we have the Crowdloan. During a Crowdloan, we start the auction. Okay, Shiden will become a parachain. Then the slot duration will be 48 weeks. What we will have, 30% of the total supply will come in circulation. At that point, when we become a parachain, this will be a little bit after we become a parachain because we will first start as a shell, but I will explain that later. 30% of the total supply will come in circulation. And those are the lock drop 1 and the lock drop 2 participants. Like we mentioned before, everyone who's holding the PLM tokens will get the same amount of SDN tokens. Then we will distribute 22% of the total supply will be distributed for the lock drop 3 participants. Those are the participants who joined the Kusama Parachain lease offering. That will consist out of 1 month of lock. Why is this? This is actually to distribute all the bonuses, all the extras. It's very important for us to calculate everything according to what we promised. So this will be happening during this first month lock. And then there will be 10 months of vesting. There will be staking available, so you can use your SDN tokens for dApps staking. You can use your tokens for nominating validators and so on. And as you can see, at the end of our first parachain lease period, 52% of our total supply will be in circulation and owned by the community. Also very important, at the end of the lease period, your KSMs will be returned to the original owner. What is the Kusama schedule at the moment? Kusama already had the shell on West End. That was Thursday, May 13th. Then they upgraded Kusama. Then the shell was on Kusama. Actually, the shell is actually the first parachain. And this is something, actually a little piece of code, doesn't do anything. It only listens to the console to get an upgrade. That's it. Actually, it has nothing at the moment. This will get an upgrade and the shell will become a statement. Then after this will run stable on Kusama. They will announce the auction schedule. That's the period where people can unbound their KSM tokens and the Crowdloans can start. And then the first auction will begin. Kusama announced that they will start with 5 auctions, and each auction will be 1 week apart and back to back. So meaning, there will be 1 week a winner and then another winner for the next 5 auctions. And each auction will target the current lease period and will onboard immediately. So at the moment, Shiden will win the parachain slot. It will immediately be launched as a parachain on Kusama. This is our Shiden schedule. So Stota, can you do a little bit about the project milestones, what we are going to do to launch Shiden, first phase and upcoming phases?
Yeah. So the most important things for us is to win the auction. So we are going to focus on Crowdloan, and once the auction is started, we are going to join the first auction. And if we win, we're gonna launch the Shiden. And if we lose, we're gonna join the second auction and win. And then we are going to launch Shiden Network. And today I'm really happy to say the Genesis file is ready. And the Shiden Network shell chain is deployed locally and running successfully. So this means we are ready to launch on Kusama. So all we have to do right now is to win the auction. So yeah, this is basically the phase 1. And regarding the phase 2, we are, after becoming a Kusama parachain, we are going to make our network decentralized and decentralized step by step. So at the first point, collector has to be centralized because of some known issue. So the collector is going to be a proof of authority. So some of the first ambassador and the team can run the collector. But we would like to make it decentralized and decentralized. Yeah, that's why we have a partnership with Microsoft. And under the partnership of the Microsoft, community member can run the creator node for free for selected period, let's say 1 month or 2 months. Then they can run their own nodes as a creator. And after that, we are going to launch the Plasm Network portal, Shiden Network portal. So anyone can deploy WebAssembly contract as well as Ethereum virtual machine contract on Shiden through portal. And the staking will be enabled. Yeah, this is the phase 2, and phase 3 is going to be the XCMP integration. So since we are going to become a parachain, we can import and export our token and the other parachains token. So this is the phase 3. So once phase 3 is done, so we can say the Shiden is fully launched. So yeah, auction is just day 1 for us. So we're gonna do our best to become one of the first parachain. Yeah, thanks, Martin.
Okay, and then we have the Shiden Tokenomics. I will just explain a little bit about our token. It's just Shiden Network, token symbol SDN. Token decimals will be 18. It's now 15, but like we mentioned before, a couple of months back, we will do a redenomination. We will go from 15 decimals to 18 decimals. This has already happened on Shiden Genesis. So we already divided by 1,000. So we go from 15 to 18 decimals. So the token supply, the total token supply will be around 70 million, and with the token inflation of 10% a year. This is average, so it's a little bit less or a little bit more. That's not something we don't know at the moment. On the right, you see the diagram that will be owned by the community. That's over 65%. 30% will be from Shiden Genesis. Those are from LockDrop 1 and LockDrop 2 participants. Then there will be 20% for the first Parachain lease offering and 2% as bonus. So a total of 22% will be distributed during the first Parachain lease offering. In total brings it to 52 after the first lease period. Then for the second Parachain lease offering, we will have 5% of our tokens in reserve now, and also a reserve of 5%. Those 8% can be more through our treasury for the upcoming Parachain lease offerings, but that will be explained in a later phase when we are going for that period. And then we have the 35% here. 10% is for the institutional investors, like we have with Binance and other partners. Then there will be 10% protocol development, marketing, team, and 5% for the on-chain DOA.
Yeah, I would like to say we are going to make really community-driven project, the smart contract hub on Polkadot. So a lot of projects are claiming community-driven, but actually sometimes not. So we are making the community-driven smart contract hub, and we're gonna show with our behavior rather than the words. So yeah. So again, the most important thing is to become one of the first parachain, and then we're gonna become the smart contract hub on Polkadot and Kusama. And finally, we are going to make the on-chain governance and make a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, in coming 2 years.
Yes, and like Sota was saying, we really want to be community driven, and that's why we chose to have our total token circulation over 50% after the first lease slot. So actually more than half of our supply will be in the hands of the community. And that was something really important for us to have. Now, how to join the Crowdloan? This is still in an early stage for us because it's not launched yet. So I will just share you a screenshot that was presented during Polkadot Decoded. So it will actually look like this. So if you will go to the Polkadot.gs.org website, you can join with your Polkadot.gs extension. You can go to Network Crowdloan, and there you will see all the listing projects. You will see all the Crowdloans, and when it will end, the Crowdloans will be here. The lease slots they will be going for. You will also see an amount. This will be very high because we don't know for the first auction like how much is needed to win the auction. So this will be probably be set up really high, but this doesn't mean we have to complete it. We can also have it like 60% filled, but we can still win. This is just to get as much as KSM as possible. And how can you join? Very simple. You just click here on contribute. Your Polkadot.gs extension will pop up. You can sign the transaction and your KSM is locked. What is good to know, your KSMs will not leave your UI. You can still see your KSMs locked in the relay chain. You cannot move them around, but they are locked, but you can still see them. So it's nice to see that those KSM tokens are still visible for you. I found it very useful to have that. Gives you a peace of mind in bad bear market days, let me say. Then you can also join a Crowdloan on centralized exchanges. We will certainly be on Huobi, on Kraken, and on OKX. Those will be joining the Kusama Parachain lease offering, and then we also have others like Polka Wallet, Zenlink, and A-Token. A-Token is also a wallet. It's very known in China and Japan, I think. Yeah, those are the main exchanges, and then we'll have our Polkadot.gs possibility to join with your Polkadot.gs extension. I used an image from Kraken. This was actually made for another project, but I changed it now for Shiden to make it very clear for you guys. So how can you join Kraken? Just deposit your KSMs, deposit in your Kraken account, contribute for the Parachain auction. You will see the end days and hours remaining. If it's successful, your token will be bound and will be locked in the contract, and you will get Shiden rewards in return. Is it unsuccessfully, you will just get them back. This is for Kraken. We don't know how it will look like for Huobi or OKX. This will be given to us closer to the Crowdloan, and then we will share the tutorials for you, and they will make the tutorials and we will share it in our community. For the tutorial for using Polkadot.gs extension, this will be made at the moment we know the Crowdloans will start, and that will be available for you guys.